Hi, how are you, Asia?
I'm good. How are you?
Good to see you again.
Good to see you too.
Great. So, how's everything been going for you?
Kind of tough. I mean, it's getting near April 13th, so it's never a good day.
Okay, well, before we jump into the session, I just kind of want to review some of the things we went over in the first session. We did more of an intake process where I got some of your background information. We went over the confidentiality agreement, and we also went over some of the stipulations for the counseling session, and we went over some of the goals that we were going to try and achieve in this session. So, do you have any questions, or should I reiterate any of that for you before we get started?
No, ma'am.
Okay, so on today, we're just going to kind of talk about some of your presenting issues and what's been going on. I want you to feel as comfortable as possible. Understand that this is a helping session, and anything that we talk about here will not leave this room unless it is related to child abuse or abuse of the elderly, unless it's court mandated or if you are bodily harm to yourself or others. So those are the only stipulations that we have on the confidentiality agreement. Is that understood? Okay, good. So I'm ready to start when you are. Feel comfortable talking. So yeah, how's everything been going?
Everything has been going all right, but one thing in particular is, I don't know. April 13th is always a very, very tough day. This April 13th will make a year since I lost my 18-year-old brother. I didn't go to his funeral. I did not go home to see him. I have yet to actually take the time to go visit his burial grounds, but I cannot find. I don't know why I can't do it. It just doesn't still seem real that he is
Right.
dead.
So have you actually taken out the time to, I guess, mourn his loss, or before talking to me, have you actually tried to talk to your parents or anything about this?
I've never talked to my parents or anything about it. I don't know if I mourned it. I don't know if I mourned it. I think it was one of those things where I accepted it, and I don't know. It's always at the tip of my heart. Like, it always is just this itch of pain, but I don't know. I just knew it was something I had no control over.
Right.
And, being that I'm out here alone in school, I have to be strong for myself.
Right.
So I just don't really feel like this is the time or the moment to really break down, like almost like I can't afford it.
Mm-hmm. Okay. Well, just to backtrack just a little bit, how was you and your brother's relationship before his passing?
We were very close.
Okay.
But when I ventured off to school when I turned 18, mostly me and all my brothers, relationships kind of like dwindled because I'm gone. And I only visit home like a month out the year. And then, between school and their lives and everything that they're doing, we don't really have much time to really keep in touch. I mean, we talk often. I mean, we grew up together, so I don't know. I guess I always thought that there would be more time.
Right.
I didn't think that 18, I didn't think that that's all the time we had, because naturally, you don't think of someone dying at 18 years old.
Yeah, loss is never an easy thing. We've all experienced it in one way or another. But yeah, I think that mourning the loss is important, and it helps in the healing process of, you'll always have thoughts of your lost one, but it does help in that healing process. So I think that a good step for you probably would be is, visiting his grave, and just kind of getting some closure from it. Was there any specific reason why you didn't go to his funeral, or
I had just got a job that I really, really wanted,
okay,
and she told me that if I left, I would sacrifice the job.
okay,
So, that point in time,
yeah,
it was almost like survival mode.
yeah,
I knew I needed the money,
okay,
and I knew I didn't have that. Even to even get on a plane to go would even eat up my savings, and that was just something I couldn't afford at the time. So I don't know.
okay. Well, yeah. As I mentioned, I think that you did take the right step of coming here and discussing it. But yeah, I definitely think, kind of uh, visiting his grave might give you some closure because you weren't able to make it to his funeral. Um, it might help you feel a little bit better about the situation.
That's the problem, though. I'm feeling worse and worse. It's like as the day goes by, as the month goes by, as it gets closer, it's almost like this whole past year, I've deleted that. I haven't deleted it from my mind, but I've chose to avoid those feelings adjusted to it. But it's like today is April 1st, and there are 12 more days. And in 12 more days, that makes a year.
Yeah.
A year. And it's not here.
Yeah. And I mean, you also have to understand that it's not your fault, of course. But yeah, you made the choice at that time that was the best for you. So I don't think that you should be so regretful of that choice. Because I mean, I feel like you did what you had to do about it. Um, but yeah, I just feel that it's something that
But is it a question of putting money before family? That's that part of regret that it always is. But I don't know. That's just thinking career wise, because I mean we all have family,
right,
and you all have people who care about you. But at the end of the day, you really only have yourself.
right. So and also that comes to a point to where I think you have to have your priorities straight. So where would you rate your family in your list of priorities, and how important is your family to you, and are you
They are the most important thing, but I feel like a lot of my past, even growing up as a child, I've been kind of like the glue that held my immediate family together. And I was just always the one that, if something went wrong, or the model child, the one who's supposed to do everything correct. So, in a way, going to school, because none of my other brothers went to school, my mother does not have a degree, that was just something different for me. And, I don't know. I just feel like, in a way, I have an obligation to my family to make it.
Yeah.
And at that point in time, as much as I wanted to go home, if I would go home, that would have put me in a very uncompromising situation.
As far as your family goes.
As far as my finances, when
okay.
It's almost like I go to California, I go to this funeral, I spend that time, but then when I get back, I've spent all my money to get out there, because the ticket was like $900. Yeah,
Yeah.
and then I get back and I don't even have my first month's rent.
Yeah.
Because of a funeral.
Yeah.
So it was almost like I can care all I want to, but at the end of the day, when that funeral is over, I have to return back to my duties as a woman, and they have to do what they want to.
So yeah, well, from what you just said, I feel like, I know that you care. So it's not a matter of you caring or not, but it was a hard decision for you, obviously. So, I mean, I don't know. That's a tough one.
And that's how I play it back in my head.
But I still don't feel as if of course you feel bad for not being able to make it to your brother's funeral, but it was kind of out of your control. You know, you can't do anything when you don't have the means to do anything. So it's not that you didn't care, but it was a financial situation, you know. Um, so yeah, I mean things happen in life, and you.
But then I think, what if I didn't buy those sneakers? What if I didn't take those trips? And I
But
had something saved.
but you still
I could have
didn't.
been there.
That's very true, but you know, as you said, the death was unexpected. So whoever would have guessed that that your brother would have passed away. You know, it's not something that you plan for. So you can't blame yourself for doing those things at that time that may have made you happy, and then you miss. I mean, I understand what the connection is, but at the same time, um, you have to realize that you you weren't able to do those things because you didn't have the means to.
So
Not to say
maybe
that
I'm
it makes
blaming
it
myself.
not to say that it makes it easier. But I don't think that you should. How do you actually feel about not being able to go to his funeral? Are you blaming yourself or how?
I feel terrible.
Okay.
I feel like I betrayed my family
Okay.
in a way. And it was almost like a decision that I like you said, I had no control over.
Right.
But I don't know. I just wonder how differently my life would be right now if I would have went. And I find myself in situations like this often. Same with my brother. I chose not to go home at a certain time of the year, and then when I return back home, he's back in jail for 9 to 25 years.
How you feel about
Same thing. It's all it's hard when you're trying to make it, and then you have obligation to family as well. It's like sacrifice makes you lose.
Yeah.
But the problem with that sacrifice is it makes me feel terrible inside.
Yeah.
It does not make me feel like a good person.
Well, you also have to understand. I know that your family probably holds you on a high pedestal, but it's up to you to understand that you can't be that poster child. You can't be perfect because no one is. So I think you have to take that on yourself to say, I make mistakes. You know, I'm probably not everything my family wants me to be or everything that they think I am, but you have to be good enough for yourself before you can be good enough for your family. Make sure that you're pleasing yourself and making yourself happy because above all, you're the only one who has to live with yourself. You know what I'm saying? So family is important and we all want to make them happy and make them proud of us. But at the end of the day, it all boils down to Asia and how Asia feels and what Asia does is what's best for Asia. If that makes sense to you. Um, but yeah, it all boils back down to you in a sense. So.
How do you erase the memories of your guilt?
There's no way to erase the memories. You just have to try and get past them. And that's one of the ways that we're going to set goals and, try and be more positive. And, your memories have made you who you are today. Um, so I think that as long as you're striving for greatness and to become a better person day by day, it doesn't erase the memories, but um, it's made you who you are. And without those memories, who would you be really? And we don't know that, but I think that you're a great person. And, I think that other people think that you're great. So why would you want to erase the greatness that has brought you to this place? So I think that we just have to create some coping mechanisms to kind of get you to a place to where you feel comfortable enough to be comfortable with yourself. Sound good?
Sounds alright.
Okay. Do you have any other things you would like to discuss today?
That's about it for this session. When can I think about rescheduling?
Well, as we discussed in our last session, we will meet every Monday, Wednesday, and Friday at 9 o'clock. So, yeah, today is Wednesday, so I will see you on Friday, and we can go further into this a little bit more and dig a little deeper, or we can possibly talk about something else that may be an issue for you.
Thank you, Dr. Jackson.
Thank you, Asia.
You have a great day.
You too. Let's see how long that was.